Hello, my name's Alex Philly and you're watching my video about Oddworld New and Tasty. Okay, so what exactly is this game? New and Tasty is a remake or reboot of the Oddworld franchise, made famous by Abe's Oddysee, which was originally on the PlayStation 1 and the PC. This game came to PlayStation 4 last year, but has actually made its way onto the PC as of the 25th of February. Okay, so what kind of game is it? Well, it is a puzzle platformer. People might find this similar to the game Flashback and also the 1989 game Prince of Persia, which was a puzzle platformer. Okay, so you've got platforms here, so we can grab on the edge and you can jump up and grab those. We've also got a few enemies in the game. The character that you're playing as, Abe, is one of the Mudokons. These are the slave characters. In this game you also have a lot of deadly enemies to avoid, such as the Sligs, which are these yellow guard monsters with red eyes, which are my favourite characters in the whole Oddworld series. Okay, one of the cool things about this game is you can actually possess enemies. So you can do this special chant and then you take over their bodies and you can go around and you can talk to people, you can tell them to get out of the way, and you can also shoot them as well, because these Sligs have guns or rifles that you can just aim and shoot. As well as Abe, you've got the Mudokon slaves, which are walking around throughout the Rupture Farms factory, and you're meant to save these guys. It's a brilliant remake. In the original game, rather than having a scrolling camera, you had these pre-rendered backgrounds, and it was the character models were all sprite-based, based on original 3D models, of course, similar to the way Mortal Kombat used to work. Now everything is a 3D model, and not only that, but the camera actually smoothly pans throughout the level. This does change the way that some puzzles work, for example with the anti-chanting orbs that automatically zap you if you get too close. Those now affect you differently. Climbing onto things is slightly different as well, because the original game had more like a tile-based system, again similar to the original Prince of Persia, whereas this game has more of a freeform kind of structure, so you can grab onto things. Compared to the original game, this game does add a few new features. One of the features borrowed from the Abe's Exodus sequel is the quick save ability, which means you can do a temporary save anywhere and you can load that whenever you like. So for example, if you save it near the end of a tricky section, if something happens to your character, like you die for example, you can just load that up and you'll get straight back onto playing, which saves a lot of time because you don't have to keep replaying the same section over and over. As well as that, you have other additional features to the game, including the ability to talk to more than one Mudokon at a time. In the original game you could only talk to one at a time, and now you can talk to more. One of the biggest differences in terms of controls is that when you aim rocks and bombs, you can use the right analog stick to aim where you want to throw the item on the 360 controller, which also has rumble, which is brilliant because you can do a proper aiming, whereas in the original game you can only aim in predetermined ways, which means you could only aim at certain spots, which made it quite tricky to know what you're hitting at. And of course with the original game you had no quick save, so it's very much trial and error in order to get that working. Graphically, the game is a brilliant overhaul. I mean, we're talking about a game that was originally on the PS1, and now it's on the PS4. So that's 3 generations worth of upgrades. Admittedly, some people will call it an indie game, but it's like that nice kind of bridge between indie and AAA. It does feel very high quality, and they've obviously spent a lot of time trying to bring this to the PC version with the minimum amount of bugs and problems. Rather than just the bare minimum in terms of the backgrounds, they've absolutely gone into everything and made everything a lot better. And there's new added extras, like you can actually see the enemies walking around in the background more. You've got more of the atmospheric kind of things, and for example in the Rupture Farms area, you've got like the meat grinding machines and all of that kind of machinery and industry. It really kind of feels a lot more alive. Besides the main game, you've also got the DLC, which includes the separate Alph's Escape DLC, which is meant to be quite difficult and for veteran fans of the series. And these are levels never found in the original game, so these are completely created for this game's engine. You also have an alternative outfit for Abe, which you can use as well, which again goes beyond what the original did. This is primarily a single-player game, but there is a couch co-op mode in the form of local 2-player gameplay where they take turns, similar to the original PS1 version, of course. Cutscenes are very impressive. The dialogue is crisper and clearer, so it's a lot easier to kind of hear what people are saying. and the Sligs have a wider range of expressions, similar to the way they were portrayed in the Munch's Oddysee games. But overall, it's got that kind of funny, happy kind of feeling. Although obviously there's that whole idea of rebellion and freedom that the whole game rests on. I have no complaints regarding the sound of the game. The sounds are great. The music's good as well. It still has that kind of dynamic music that the original game had. There's also some funny new ragdoll effects with character models when they die and flop all over the place, which is quite funny. The frame rate of the PC version seems quite good, at least on my computer rig, which is a quad-core PC, and I'm using the GeForce GTX 650, which is a mid-range graphics card. Fairly decent and fits well with my rig. The Steam version also has the achievements that you can get based on the in-game progress, which is a nice change from the original release. And you've also got some leaderboards as well for when you finish the game, so you can compare your skills with other players. And there's difficulty settings as well, so if you find the original game too easy or too hard, you can scale it to your liking. We've got the easy, normal, and hard difficulty options there. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to have more videos in the future. I'm not entirely sure whether some of them will be with pre-recorded or live commentary. Time will tell, so hopefully you've enjoyed this. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed it, and hopefully we shall be seeing more Oddworld games in the future. Thank you very much.